Mate. Well, I guess initially, kind of give us a bit of a backstory. Where were you before? Obviously, you joined the SEC,
Yep.
um, and yeah, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, no worries. So I started my career at PwC, always worked in finance, and then since leaving PwC, I've worked at a different couple of retailers in their finance team, but I've always had the sort of ambition of thinking I want to have my own company at some point. But I think when you're still quite young and you don't have necessarily the money in the bank to invest in like big capital heavy businesses,
Yeah.
it's difficult to actually know where to start. And it's okay having the ambition and knowing that once you get something up and running, you think you'll be able to run with it. But actually, like knowing where to start and having the business idea and concept is just really difficult at times. And that's really why I ended up joining the SCC. And what was I going to say? I think for me, I obviously had quite a big chunk of time in between starting a new job.
Yeah.
So I had plenty of time to sort of dig into a lot of the content that was already available on your YouTube.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, you actually popped up on like as a sponsored ad on YouTube. And I thought, oh, it sort of looked like the usual sort of like trap of a video where you think they're going to try and get you to invest in like forex or something like that. But for whatever reason, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have a click on this. It sounds a bit different, and then across probably about a 2 day period, I must have watched nearly 50% of your videos on YouTube, and I was like
Yeah.
pretty like bought into the concept, and it all made sense. And then obviously speaking to you on that first call, I think my initial hesitation was that like it seems it seems almost too good to be true, and like the concept is quite simple in nature, so almost why aren't more people doing this? And surely there can't be enough business to go around. But once I've actually got into the business now, I'm like, I can't believe I ever had that hesitation, to be honest with you.
I know it's funny, isn't it? It's once you get going, and it is. You've probably seen now how much of a simple business model it actually is.
Mm,
It really is dead simple, and the scalability of it. Like I've seen from this short period of working with you, how driven you are as a person alone, let alone what you're going to achieve in business.
mm.
And understanding the simplicity of this business model is really, really important because it is just a case of kind of rinse and repeat once you understand the process, right?
100%. And I think obviously, as I said, there's so much free content that you've put on YouTube, which for anyone who's sort of thinking of joining, my biggest recommendation would be like set aside a couple of days, or like it might be watch on your week like your evenings or your weekends for a couple of weeks, and like that will give you basically the understanding of how the business is going to work. And then when you join the SEC, you've got all the tools there to actually go on and do it and make it as simple as possible. And even from like the first day that I turned on my ads, I couldn't believe that I had like three requests within the first day. And I don't think at that point I was almost set up for that.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
pretty uncomfortable at first, and like you sort of don't know what you're doing. But after like a few calls with clients, you quickly sort of pick up like what they're looking for, what your contractors offer, and you get the hang of like pricing and all that kind of thing. And I think it over time it just comes quite naturally, or it has for me in the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm only sort of 2 weeks into like properly trading now, and I think I've done 10 jobs already, and I think I've got a few booked in for next week already. So like you can see how quick the progress is, and we're just at a point now where it's a case of rinse and repeat at this level, get everything really dialed in, and then in another few weeks or month or whatever it might be, we'll be ready to turn the notch up, and it should feel much easier in a month's time than what it feels now, and that's when we'll be ready to like keep turning the notch up
Scale.
again. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. And it is where you've done the process perfectly. Like, absolute dream client for me because you've just done everything by the book, understood the process, And then yeah, you're going to be in a position the next kind of few weeks or so where we say, right, where do we want to go from here? What's the next step? Because it is ultimately going to be growth. It's just kind of like I've spoken about on group calls, what audience you target and things like that. Because you don't just want to go spread out absolutely
Yeah,
everywhere.
100%. 100%.
And like you say, the jobs, the leads, like so many people don't believe me when I say when we turn leads on, they're on, and
Yeah, yeah.
you're getting calls like. And you've probably seen some of the other guys, obviously, like in the advanced group, especially where they have got slightly overwhelmed with the amount of leads that can come through. But and then again, it's just a case of kind of managing that, making sure you can take on what you can take on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at first, no matter how many calls come through, it probably will feel pretty overwhelming. But after a few days of getting used to it, you sort of settle down. And now I'm at a stage like if I don't get like a couple of calls a day, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what's up, sort of thing. So yeah, you
Yeah,
quickly settle into it. And as I said, like the content on YouTube's great for getting understanding of the business and like getting trust in the process that you're setting yourself up for. But then all the content on the program, like it just makes it all so simple, and you can sort of do it in your own time. Like, don't get me wrong, I did it in like a couple of weeks period getting set up because I had the free time, but it doesn't really matter how much time you've got. It's a simple process, and you can do it at your own pace, and you'll still be set up in as good a way as possible. And as I said, like once you turn the leads on, you'll be surprised at how fast your business does ramp up.
yeah, 100%. That's it. Once the full setup's done, it's an operational business, isn't it? You're taking
Mm.
sales straight away and obviously managing the contractors. Had you tried anything before out of interest, Alex? Any businesses before?
No, no, I've done like when I was probably about 18, I got stung with like a forex kind of thing, and like I've
Yeah.
done like horse betting before through like tipsters stuff like that. I've always been like I want to try and make some extra money in some way, and I've always just probably ended up falling into the trap of like I wouldn't say get rich quick schemes, but just probably like being young and naive and like I think I think, as I say, I didn't know what my business idea was without having a lot of capital to invest.
Yeah.
Uh, With this business model, you really need next to nothing to get started. And once you are in business, you, y- your cash pot's only going to build. Like it's not like you're having to invest in a lot of machinery or computers or whatever to keep your business running. The only thing you're really investing in each month is your advertising, and then you've got very, very small fixed costs each month, like your website, insurance, that kind of thing. So it is such a low cost business model that you can scale very quickly.
Yeah. Again, that's again something that people really struggle to believe me with when I say your operating expenses are less than £50 a month.
Oh, 100%. Like I'm probably doing it a little bit more expensive in that at the moment because I've chosen to have like a paid bank account and stuff like that, but it's still
Right.
less
Yeah.
than like 100 quid. That's just stuff that like if you want things to be even more simpler and probably slightly more dialed in, you can invest into, but you don't need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that 100%. And you're since you joined, what was the experience like so far? Like literally from your onboarding call to obviously where you're at now, completing projects.
Oh, so simple. I think, I think, is it? It must be about a month, 5 weeks since I probably signed up. I think I had a call with you before I went on holiday, and it has just been absolutely seamless. And I've not even managed to join all of the group coaching calls. I've done quite a lot of it individually and through the one to ones. But as I said, all the content on the program is so easy to follow, and I struggle to believe that anyone couldn't follow it and set up the business successfully. And obviously, you guys are always there to support when there's any questions. And actually, on the group coaching calls I have joined, I found it quite valuable not only to get feedback on like what I'm working on and some of the issues I might be having, but also to hear the problems that other people might be having or what they're doing well, because you can then take that and put it into your business, or when that particular issue does arise for yourself, you've already kind of got an idea of how you're going to tackle it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So it has been pretty amazing, and it's one of those things where I'd had quite a bit of free time before I actually joined up, and I'm almost like, if I'd have managed to join a month earlier, like where would I be now, sort of thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah, 100%. But you're killing it, mate. Ten jobs in your first 2 weeks. That's absolutely dialed in. Absolutely dialed in. The fact that you joined our advanced call what 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
and yeah, you're roughly only 5, 6 weeks into the process. Like that is seriously, seriously dialed in, without a doubt. The I guess we were speaking about results there and the amount of jobs that like you've completed so far. What's really coming through with your ambitions now? Now that you know the model, you can see kind of the future of the business. Where do you want to go from here?
I think I said to you when I first joined that I still probably wanted to do my current career for at least another year or two because I've only been well, I'm 24 now, going 25 in a couple of months' time. I've only been in my finance career for like 6 years, so I probably want to get like another year or so under my belt. But I
Yeah.
think might get to a point in the next year where I'm having to actually have a difficult conversation where I think the business is probably going to grow to a point where it almost kind of seems silly to stay in my career. But ultimately, I think this is going to be my first business that's going to be the gateway to hopefully a lot more businesses in the future, which some of them probably are going to be more capital intensive.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like the sky's kind of the limit. Like I saw the progress that you made with your first company within the first few years, and I kind of think like why can't I do that sort of thing? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm probably much better set up than you were because
You are.
I'm taking all of the learnings that you had in the past and just using them like in my company. So I think
Well,
that's the thing. Like you've been there, you've done it, you've got the t-shirt, and now you're giving everyone in the program all the tools to go away and be successful first time.
yeah, 100%. I was your age. And it took me, a good 18 months to really get dialed in because I had no clue what I was doing. I was winging it left, right, and center. You guys
Yeah,
are literally learning from mine, 9 years with these businesses now, and your proof is in the pudding. Like the way that you can go and close 10 jobs in your first couple of weeks, I would have loved to have started like that. I can assure you.
100%. And I think the thing is about this type of business, like it's not gonna get swallowed up by some sort of new technology advancement or AI. Like it's a service-based business. Somebody's always gonna want someone to clean the property or clean the windows or do some sort of pest control. That's not gonna be done by a computer or like Chat GPT. So like it is I think it is future proof as a business. Um
Yeah, 100%. Me and you will be long gone before someone learns how to do a deep clean with AI, like something like that, mate. I'd like to see it, but
It could be famous last words from me there, but I don't think so somehow.
if it is, I'm out of the business. So I'll have to switch to an AI cleaning model or something.
Um,
Out of going from looking at my first ever video that you watched or seeing that first ever advert to where you are now, what's what stands out for you as kind of your proudest moment or like your biggest win that you'd like to share?
my biggest win. There's probably a few actually. Like I think as a person, I've never been that confident actually speaking to someone on the phone when you can't see them. So that's like a big hurdle for me to get over. And as I said, like when the first couple of calls I took, they were incredibly uncomfortable. I felt like I didn't know anything. Like it was really difficult to answer questions. But now, as soon as that phone rings, I'm like a confident person. And I think to be fair, like obviously, like as I said, like 10 jobs within my first couple of weeks, like I'd have never imagined that, and the confidence that has now given me to see where, like, just by the end of this year, where I can get to. And I think also like, I've obviously worked in finance, but I've never had to like really negotiate things with like your contractors. So at the weekend, I managed to negotiate down by about 20% on price with one of my contractors who the quality is being brilliant, like amazing feedback, but from like a profit point of view, like going forwards, it'd be a struggle to work with that
Yeah.
contractor if the prices didn't come down. And to be honest, like just being able to have my own business and be proud of it, and like every time I look on Google, like I can see that my company's there, like just that kind of thing. Like it does give you a sense of pride, and like I look forward to every morning when it hits 8 o'clock in the morning because I know that's the point my ads are on and like I can start.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, um, yeah, and I guess like even just looking at my business on Zero, the accounting software, and seeing like by the day, like the cash in my bank's improving, the profit and losses looking better.
yeah.
Just silly little things like that. Which I'm sure I'll probably look back in a few months' time and think, I can't believe you were buzzing about that amount in your business bank account, or the amount on your profit or loss. But
Oh, mate, you do. No, I even remember my first like £1,000 profit month, and
mm,
just being like, I just remember telling, like, literally speaking to my mum or something, and being like, "I made £1,000 this month. Like, my business made £1,000." And a few years later, I'm like, "Oh, that's." But they're all pivotal moments. They are literally all
100%.
pivotal moments. Are you looking at your profit and loss every day at the moment, out of interest?
I'm trying not to. I think I've got a rough idea in my head anyway, but I guess it's just
Yeah,
logging on and seeing the actual proof of where it's at. But I
yeah,
mean,
that's it.
from like just a cash in the bank point of view, like I'm at a pretty healthy position now that within a few weeks' time, if we were to increase like the advertising budget, or if we were to go down like another advertising stream, like I'd have more than enough money to fund that.
Yeah, yeah, and
Um,
that's where I said to you, that's where we want to get you to. It's not a case of making millions overnight or even hundreds of thousands overnight. It's, let's use this process to get to a certain point where we have substantial capital, good cash flow in the business. We're still gonna keep running, like you're running LSA at the moment, right?
yeah,
So running local services ads, still get some really, really good leads coming off the back of that because you've got contractors that are dialed in. But then we can say, okay, let's have another pivotal moment to have another stage of growth in the business. And do we target, gym contract cleaning? Do we target offices? Do we target builders clean? So on and so forth. You just keep adding on these stems to the business.
100%. And I think that is probably where we'll end up heading next, because I think from a residential point of view, we can probably, I think in terms of LSA budget, we're about 60% of what you'd recommend as your maximum. So I think through that advertising stream, we've probably got a little bit more we can go, and that seems to work really well with like deep clean end of tenancy, which there's still good margins and a good thing to have as like a constant
Yeah,
revenue stream in your business. But once we start hitting some commercial jobs through probably like pay per click um, advertising stream, they're the things that it's going to make it easy to keep running the business with a healthy profit level, and that's where I think the business will really start to really grow to a good size.
100%. That was when I went to pay per click, and obviously we've got the partnership with digital, haven't we? Who still run my ads to this day. That's where I just skyrocketed with different targeting, like commercial contracts, that kind of thing. Um, if someone was kind of sitting on the fence, doing what you did, watched my first ever video or something like that, they're thinking about working with us, what would you say to them?
I would say keep watching more YouTube videos and get a call booked in, because once you've understood the concept of the business and you understand how it works, you just need a conversation with yourself to give you that extra like couple of percent confidence. Um, and there's no doubt you'll want to sign up. I honestly think just by watching the YouTube videos, I was probably at 95% confidence level that like this business works. Like I can't see how it wouldn't work, and it was just like the extra cherry on the top was just speaking to you and like getting to know you as a person, and being able to think like that's the sort of person that I think I can work with successfully going forwards.
Yeah, yeah, I get that 100% because you have got to pick the right mentor as well. Like, not everyone's going to be the perfect fit for you, even if the model is a perfect fit. So, and now with you in my advanced team, I can just keep nudging you along every single week, which is, it's great for me because I just get to watch you progress every single week as well, which is
Yeah,
nice.
100%. Well, fingers crossed it'll continue.
100%, mate. 100%. Finally, mate, if you had to kind of summarize this experience so far in just one sentence with us, with your new business, what would you say?
I think and Colette, I think Colette might have said this on her interview, but I think it probably will be life changing. Actually, it might have been Curtis. Might have been Curtis. Yeah, I think it will be life changing because without without joining, I wouldn't have taken that next step into my having my own business. And then, as I say, I think it's just going to lead one thing to the next, and hopefully be able to grow this business, start other ones, and end up in living the life that probably have always kind of dreamed of living, but just never had a picture of really how to get there.
Yeah, yeah, I get
Um,
that, mate.
so yeah, it's been brilliant. And I can't thank you and Akash enough, to be honest. Um,
Good.
and as I say to everyone, just keep watching the YouTube.
I'll keep posting them up, mate, as long as people keep watching, 100%. Mate, thank you so much. Honestly, you are an absolute legend for this. Um, Everything you are doing is absolutely fucking dialed in, no doubt about it. And honestly, I can't wait to just keep working with you, keep this business flying, mate. And to think, honestly, like it's nuts to think that you are only 5 weeks into this process. Like
Mm.
I feel like the way that you're talking, you've kind of been doing this for years. So there's so much more I've got to teach you. There's
Yeah,
so much more.
100%. It is really really exciting.